Why is this game so popular? I didn't grow up with it, so I don't get the nostalgia behind it. A lot of people sing nothing but praise of this one, so I was interested and glad that it came out as a remaster. Well, remaster in massive air quotes. I think that I just have to admit to myself, I'm not into Tim Schafer's games. I played Psychonauts, and while it was an interesting concept and a good action platformer, I didn't get the appeal that everyone had for it. I played Brutal Legend, and while I liked the action and how Jack Black really made the character come to life, the real-time strategy aspects killed the experience for me. They were those types of games where I liked what they had to offer, and I thought they were good, but for some reason, deep down, I couldn't get invested in them. Maybe it's because people were hyping them up beyond what they really were. I think the only game that he worked on that I enjoyed was Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, but his credits for that are that he never actually tried to sabotage the project. Grim Fandango was inspired by the Aztec version of the Afterlife and film noir types of movies from the 30s and 40s. Graphically for 1998, they look a little outdated because you can see that every part of the character models is a separate piece, which does work for when you see the character's bones, but when they're wearing clothes it looks weird. And during 1998, there were companies that managed to make the models either a solid piece or at least look like it. But for the remaster, the textures on the models look rather good and the models also are rather smooth, but the backgrounds, which are pre-rendered, are pixelated like they were just upscaled instead of getting the same treatment as the character models. It can be visually distracting. If you switch the game to the original graphics, the backgrounds remain the same but the models are at a lower resolution. The voice acting is good. I did enjoy listening to these characters as they were very well written and fun to watch on screen, even if the graphics are extremely outdated by now. Although I didn't really like the big orange demon thing and Glottis, that's his name. I completely forgot what his name is. He kinda annoyed the shit out of me. And as for gameplay, it's a point-and-click adventure game. But it's an old point-and-click adventure game. There's really nothing for me to say about the gameplay. You point somewhere, you click, Manny goes there, you talk to people, get clues, get items, you rub items on stuff to see what result you get, you mouse over everything to see if the reticule will change into something you can click on it and see what it does. That's about it. That's how you make your way through the game and solve its various puzzles. You have to wait for Manny to actually move across the screen to his destination, and he walks slow, walking at a normal pace, but the areas are huge and take time for him to move across. Although you can hold the shift button and he will run. And I was playing Pokemon while working on breeding competitive Riolus to evolve to Lucarios while I waited for the game to finish doing what it needed to do until I could click again and move on. I don't know if this was done to make the game seem longer, especially since part of the game is exploring to gather items and rub on stuff to progress through the game. And if you use a guide, then it goes by much quicker as you'll know exactly where to go, which probably defeats the whole purpose of the adventure part but does help when you just want to experience the story. And the story is pretty good. You play as Manny, a guy that collects the dead and sells them travel plans to the afterlife. However, all his clients are deadbeats and never qualify for the good packages, so they have to take the 4-year journey on foot. So he gets no commission and can't pay off his debt. He steals a client from the top salesman and then uncovers a very large conspiracy, and that's where I'm going to leave it. If you want to see the story for yourself, play the game, or just watch the cutscenes online, or read the plot synopsis on Wikipedia. This is why I don't review games like this. There's really nothing here to review. I like the Walking Dead Telltale game because there were different choices that could affect the story, and it was more interactive than this. But that's because the development of better technology allowed the developers to do more with games like this. I suppose the one thing that I really don't like about the game is the guess what the developer is thinking mentality that's ever so prominent when it comes to solving certain things. There's one puzzle where you need to pick up a deck of cards from your office, punch holes in a card, go outside to the parade, get 2 deflated balloons, fill each one up with a different chemical, go back to your office, slide them down the mail tube, go back downstairs to the mail sorter, unlock the door to the sorter as the mail demon is fixing it, then talk to the mail demon, leave, go back in, open the door, slide the hole punched card into the tube so that you get the information you need to continue the game. That's extremely elaborate, and would have looked cool as a movie, but playing it just annoyed me. Looking back on it, how would you know how to do all that? There's no hints that would tell you to do all of that, at least none that I saw or heard. I had to look that up, but when I solved something on my own, I wasn't going, I am so smart, I am so smart, I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMART. Instead, it was more of a complete unwinding of tensed up bodily organs escaping through my anus. But also, it's a Tim Schafer game, and like I said in Brutal Legend, I would rather watch it as a movie or TV show. Because I like his writing and I like his characters, but I don't really like playing his games. They're not bad games, but I think they could be better as a different medium like a TV series. Did I finish Grim Fandango? No, it couldn't hold my interest, unfortunately. If I was playing Pokemon while playing this game, that should be a large indicator. I even started fast forwarding through the dialogue just to keep it going while I had a guide loaded up that I could reference. But maybe like how Red Dead Redemption was the first Rockstar game I really enjoyed, maybe someday I'll come across that Tim Schafer game that I really enjoy. I was asked to review this game a few times in the past, but I honestly don't know what you'd expect from a review of it, especially coming from me. All my reviews do is tell you what the game does, how to play it, and if it works or not, while suggesting where it could have been improved upon if needed. But this is an old point-and-click game. I'm not sure what you'd expect me to say about it. To me, it's a thing that exists, and I can appreciate what they were going for, but in the end, it's a game that's just not for me. So in conclusion, is it good? Well, it functions and does everything you'd expect it to do for an old point-and-click game. Maybe if I played it as a kid, I'd have a different opinion, but that's all I got to say about it. And sorry if this review comes off as a disappointment.